real quick, I want to say if y'all would like the video and subscribe, it helps my channel out a lot, so I'd appreciate it. Thank y'all. So GPO update 8 has been out for about a week now, and I think it's been enough time that we can have an honest conversation about GPO in general right now. I wanted to talk about Grand Piece's problems that I personally see, but I also wanted to address what you guys thought, so I made a community post for you guys to tell me what you guys think, and I'm gonna be going over that as well. So make sure if you want to participate next time to just subscribe. This first comment is something I feel like I really agree with, and something that I almost feel like is undeniable. It essentially says that the update is good, but it's not worth the amount of time it took to get. It has been about a year since the last main content update, and in that time span we did get a pretty good update in this, but this clearly isn't an update that took them a year to make. But this update still definitely does have a lot of content, at least compared to the other GPO updates. The main reason it might not necessarily feel like that is because you're doing all the content in a loop over and over again, and it does get boring because of that, just because you're doing it so many times in such a short amount of time. And doing these boss and event rotations over and over again did really make me think about mobile and how mobile's even going to be able to run Grand Piece. I know For You did say that he is thinking about adding mobile and that it was able to run on an iPhone 10, I believe, at 60 FPS consistently, but I'm also on a computer, and when I was doing these events with multiple people, I was barely getting like 20-30 frames sometimes, so I imagine on a mobile device that would be insufferable. And you might not think this is that big of a deal, but when an entire update is based around a million people move spamming at once, it really will be a big deal in my opinion, and I don't even know if you could do it on mobile. The next comment I want to look at says the update feels like a premium payout grinder, gear 2 quest, and 0.5% Kikoku. Just feels like an extended boss rush grind update, and there is a lot of facts being spoken here, I'm not gonna lie. Now for those that don't know what he's saying here, premium payout is essentially when you get people with Roblox premium to play your game for longer. This essentially gives For You a lot of money, so he basically draws out the small things in the update, so it will take you a lot longer and he'll get more money, which I mean is very expected from GPO. I'm not really surprised by this at all. But this comment specifically mentioned the gear 2 quest, which is a perfect example of where this comes into play. If you look at the gear 2 quest, it literally has you doing a million things for no reason, just because it wants you to waste time and stay on the game longer, and you see this in a lot of different places in the update. But I think they might have dragged the gear 2 quest too much, because obviously it takes hours to do, and this led to a lot of people that wanted gear 2 just to straight up not get it, and I really didn't see that many gear 2s in my time playing the update, where I was really surprised. I thought a lot more people were gonna have it, even with the long task it takes to get. And I also want you guys to notice this in just the basic things like the fruits they added. They added OP and Venom as really the main fruits for this update, obviously with gear 2 as well. So basically all of the 3 main things you're gonna want to accomplish in this update take a long time, because you're either gonna have to try to get a mythical fruit or you're gonna have to get gear 2. Both take a long time, and this is obviously done intentionally. If they added a legendary fruit, then it would take very little time to get. It would take literally 5 seconds because everybody has legendary chests. And I don't necessarily think this is a problem, because if you think about it, obviously we don't want the update to literally last 5 seconds, but I do want to point it out. I think most people have accepted that GPO will always be pay to win. I don't really think that many people thought update 8 was going to be different and all of a sudden it wasn't going to be pay to win. But with that being said, this update was still very pay to win. The first thing is obviously Cyborg, which is a 1% spin rate, and obviously spinning costs Robux, so that's obviously pay to win. I do see a lot of people with Cyborg. I don't know how many people got it off the code, which is only available for 1 day, which is crazy, by the way. A 1-day code for real? But then the mythical chest system, which a lot of people spent a lot of money to open mythical chests to try to get the new fruits. So your alternatives are either spend a million hours so you can get that premium payout, or go and spend 1 million Robux to go and get the new fruits instantly. It's up to you. Now, although this video is about the problems with this GPO update, I do also want to talk about some of the positives, because I don't want to just straight hate on the game. Because like I said, I still did have a lot of fun on this update, and honestly, my expectations were not that far off from what we got. For example, looking at the bosses themselves, I think some of the bosses were very good, especially compared to the other bosses we've got. The Pika boss really feels like some AAA boss to me. Maybe I'm tripping on that, but I really do think that was a really good boss. I think they also did a really good job on the voice lines. I really do think it is very close to the anime. I haven't watched it in a minute, but it does seem very close to what I remember Pika sounding and acting like. I do like them trying to experiment with different game modes with Coliseum and Factory. Obviously, I don't think neither of these they got too creative with, which does kind of suck to see, but at the same time, it is still refreshing for what we've gotten before. I did expect the Coliseum to be more PvP based compared to just competing for who can kill the most mobs in a wave slave simulator, but I still do think it was a lot better than what it could have been. And by that I mean in the past, For You has just literally skipped over things that could have easily been game modes or fun things to do in the update. For example, in Thriller Bark, he could have easily made a ghost boss. He already has the fruit and he easily could have done it, but he didn't. So I am at least excited that we did get something instead of nothing. I also want to say I wish some of the bosses had more counterplay. For example, Pika boss, visually it is really good like I said, but from a counterplay standpoint, it literally takes everything away from you. He uses a move where you're not allowed to jump or do anything. That is literally the little counterplay you have in this game, and I really don't think that's the right way to go about this. There were multiple people in the community post saying the game is turning into block shoots, and I didn't really understand at first what they meant, but the more I think about it, they are removing a lot of skill gaps that already are in the game, and it does just feel like a lot more spammy, similar to block fruit. So I do understand where they're coming from. Me as a person, I enjoy skill gaps and challenges in games, so to see them kind of move away from that direction, it does kind of suck to see. I don't know if that's just a me thing though. I feel like a lot of y'all would agree with that, because I don't like to just feel like the exact same player as the guy next to me. I like to feel like I have a choice in how I perform and how that affects my gameplay. It also just makes the gameplay way more engaging in my opinion, compared to just being very brain dead. But that's just me. I have a lot more to talk about if y'all want me to, so like the video and subscribe if y'all want me to talk about more, or just let me know in the comments. Or if y'all just enjoyed the video, let me know. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's just my opinion, so don't get mad. I'm a person, you feel me? But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Later.